Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Rachel Kaplan. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and the host of the podcast and creator of the podcast, The Healing Feeling Shit Show. So this video is going to teach you how do you deal with those wounded parts in your basement so that they heal. So as we expressed last time, we have repressed some aspects of ourselves that we thought made us unlovable, and therefore we feel like imposters, and we feel like if people get to know us really well, they're not going to like us. So what that looks like behaviorally is you are probably doing your best to not show people at work or in the locker room or at school these aspects of you. You've been avoiding them, turning away from them, trying to pretend they don't exist. So the basic move, the first move, is you turn toward these parts and you get really curious. Who's in your basement? What aspects of you might you have been subtly and then not so subtly taught were not okay? And one of the ways you can do that practically is pay attention to all the shoulds that you get, like during your day. I should be more this, I should be less that. Pay attention to the aspects of yourself that you try to hide or couch how someone experiences them. Those might be things you have shame about. Those might be indications of who's in your emotional basement closet. But you're basically getting really curious and turning toward those parts. Now it's like metaphorically going into your basement. Now you don't want to rush the door and open the door and suddenly exploit and demand that these parts talk to you to get your info. You want to be much more gentle about it because you've been a dick to these parts for a really long time and they're not going to trust you. So if you do go down there, you knock on the door and you back away. And essentially what I mean by that is you're saying to these parts of you, hey, hi, I'm Rachel. I know you don't know me, you don't trust me because I've been telling you there's something wrong with you forever, but I really want to know you, and will you give me a chance? And then you create practices, very specific practices, that help you start to reconnect with these parts. Well, first of all, one thing to think about is, do you have a picture of yourself from when you were a kid that corresponds roughly to the age where you were when you started to feel like maybe there was something wrong with you? It's really useful to pull that picture out, put it somewhere, put it on a desk or an altar or a nightstand on the fridge, and a few times a day, look at that picture. See if you can see your beauty or your innocence. And say hi to little you. And I actually recommend imagining that you are trying to reconnect with little you, that it's a different part of you. So if you had a nickname as a kid, you can use that. Also, it's really cool if you want, put that picture or picture of the picture on your home screen. So you see it all damn day when you look at your phone, which I know you do because I have one and I do. Just to remind yourself of this precious part of you. And then start to make choices like, or start conversations at least like, hey, little Rachie, what do you want to eat? What does little Rachie want to watch? Who does little Rachie want to talk to on the phone? You start to consult these parts of you. You start to check in on them so that you can reestablish a relationship with them and start to make your life choices around what they want and need, which is the complete opposite of acting like you don't have them and trying to hide them in your life. And what this will do to your life, it's really cool, it will start to help you create a life that fits you better. Because one of the challenges that happens from repressing these very sensitive and important parts of us is that we end up creating lives that aren't the best fit for us, that are more of a compensation for those parts, rather than really enabling those parts to shine and thrive. And if you consult with these little parts of you, these more sensitive parts of you that might need you to move through your day slower or talk to less people or, share things about yourself more gently. It's like these parts of us generally need a little more care and gentleness and holding and support. But once we start to do that, they start to feel more and more well. They start to kind of merge into our sense of self And we start to become a more full, whole feeling human, where we actually get to derive strength and wisdom, insight from these parts of us that often know a ton because they're sensitive. They're paying attention. They feel people. They know who's good for us and who's not. And once we are consulting with them, talking to them, being gentle, being caring with them, they end up feeling worthy. They end up feeling lovable because we're loving them through all of that. And then we end up feeling worthy and lovable because we're no longer hiding something that we're sure would make us unlovable. And it feels way better. That's the heart of what the shit show teaches. And one of the other pieces that we'll get to in other videos is once we start to create those relationships, we also are connected enough to those wounded parts of us where we can start releasing some of the pain that they hold, which is what emotional potty training is all about. So you pay attention, you give care and contact to these parts of you, and as Gestalt therapy says, contact is healing, and so they heal. So that's the deal. That's how you do it. And episode 3 of the podcast will give you way more details. This is the Healing Feeling Shit Show.